Hey, what's going on everybody? Jeff Dalton here, Holy Smoke Barbecue. And today I'm craving something warm and comforting. Winter is coming up very soon and nothing is better on a cold winter day than a good hot bowl of chili. Today I'm not doing a traditional red chili with ground beef and tomatoes. I'm going to do a white chicken chili. We're going to get the chicken out on the smoker, and with just a few simple ingredients and a little bit of time, we're going to have a delicious hot bowl of chili in no time. Let's get it started. Alright guys, first thing we need to do before we can get this pot of chili on is we got to get our chicken prepped and get it on the smoker. What I'm using today are these split chicken breasts, and all a split chicken breast is just a chicken breast that's still got the bone and the skin on it. And I really like using these because that bone helps to add a whole lot of extra flavor to the chicken, and the skin helps to keep that meat really juicy and moist while it's cooking. Let me bring you in a little bit closer and I'm going to show you how I'm going to prep this chicken today to get it ready to go on the pit. Alright, let's grab one of these chicken breasts right here, and I'm going to show you what I want to do to get this ready for the pit. These are pretty simple. Really all you need to do is just kind of look over it, make sure there ain't nothing hanging off, any excess skin or anything like that. Like this piece of skin right here, I want to get that off. It's a big extra piece of fat we definitely don't need there. Kind of run your hand over it, make sure you don't feel any pieces of bone or anything like that. Got that one pretty good. I'll go ahead and get these other three trimmed up, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to season them. Alright, now we got our chicken breast all trimmed up and ready to go. We want to get some seasoning on it. And the seasoning I want to use today is this Hardcore Carnivore. It's a Tex-Mex, taco, and fajita seasoning. And I want to use this because it's got those southwestern flavors that are really going to help start developing all those chili notes that we know and love in a good bowl of chili. So the seasoning on this is going to be very simple. Just going to pop the lid open here. I'm going to start these. I'm going to flip them over. I'm going to season the back side first. We want to put a good coat of seasoning on here and get it all over them. You could use any of your favorite seasonings. You could use a packet of taco seasoning. You can make your own taco seasoning with just some salt and pepper and chili powder and cumin. Got the back side. Go ahead and flip these over. Go ahead and season the skin side. Alright, now that we got these seasoned up, I'm going to let this sit here and kind of sweat in a little bit while we go get the pit fired up. I'll see you outside. Alright guys, we're outside. You can see behind me, we're going to be cooking today on the Kamado Joe Big Joe. I'm going to be using my ThermalWorks Billows pit control fan to operate this pit today, help me maintain temperature on it. Let me bring you in, kind of show you how I got things set up to smoke this chicken today. Alright, you can see we got like I said, we're going to be using the Billows pit fan here. All this is an electronic fan that you connect to the intake on your grill that will help control how much air goes in. You've got a wire that connects to the head unit, and that head unit basically monitors the temperature of the pit. That's what you see down here. And then right there's the temperature for the probe that we're going to be sticking in our chicken. We're going to be smoking with some applewood chunks today. Open the lid here and you can kind of see how I got it set up. I've got things set up here for like the way I normally do indirect when I'm just doing a small cook. I've got the coal basket with a divider in it. Right here's your ambient temperature probe. I'm just going to go ahead and get a couple of these wood chunks in here. Kind of push those down into the coals. I'm going to go ahead and shut the lid. I'm going to let this thing stabilize. We want to let the pit get up to about 250, 275. Doesn't really matter too much today. And we want to make sure that we're running a super clean smoke. We don't want a thick, heavy smoke. We want a clear blue smoke. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to put the chicken on. Alright guys, we got the pit. We're running at 263 degrees. You can see the smoke there is very clear. It's real thin blue smoke. It's not a white pillowy smoke. That's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this chicken on here. And all we're gonna do, we're just gonna take these chicken breasts, just set them right here on the pit. I think I can fit all 4 of them on here like this. Just a little one back here in the back. Alright, I want to get my meat probe in here so we can monitor the temperature on it. We're going to pick this biggest one right here. Go right there in the thickest part of that breast. Going to get the lid shut. And as soon as we reach 165 degrees on that breast, I'll bring you back. Alright guys, thermal signals just alerted me that the chicken breast has reached 165 degrees. Let's take a look at them. Oh yeah. Man, things look great. I wish you guys could smell it. You can smell that apple smoke coming off. You can smell the spices from the chicken. Let's go ahead and check the internal temperature with a thermal pin just to verify. That one's about 163. I'm gonna call this chicken done. It'll carry over to that 165. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a pan, get these chicken breasts pulled off. I'm gonna go ahead and shred it, and then I'll bring you back when we're ready to start putting together the rest of the ingredients for the chili. All right guys, we're back. Got the chicken pulled, got that ready to go to start going in our chili. One of the things I forgot to mention, when I pulled the chicken off, I went ahead and bumped my temperature up on my Kamado Joe to 350 degrees, and I put my big cast iron Dutch oven on there so it can be warming up. I'm gonna go ahead and get that preheated so we can start sauteing our onions and getting this chili going. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in. I'm gonna show you all the ingredients that we're gonna use in this chili today, and then we'll get things started. Alright guys, let's go over the ingredients that we're going to be using to put this chili together. So I got 1 cup of diced yellow onion. I got 3 cloves of garlic that I've got minced up here. I got 2 cans of diced green chilies. These are 4-ounce cans. I got 1 tablespoon of lime juice. We've got 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of coriander, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and I've got 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Got a brick of cream cheese. We got 2 cups of frozen corn kernels. Got 3 cans of white kidney beans, also known as cannellini beans. Got a quart of chicken stock. Then got the 4 cups of shredded chicken breast where we smoked that from earlier. And I got a little bit of olive oil so we can saute these onions in. Alright guys, you can see I still got my 2-zone fire going, and I want it like that so I can pull this Dutch oven off of the heat if I need to if it starts getting too hot. We don't want to scorch the bottom of this chili. Right now we got the Dutch oven right over top of the coals because we want it good and hot, and I'm going to saute these onions. So I'm going to put in a couple glugs of olive oil. Then we're going to add our onions. You can hear these onions start cooking immediately. Got a good hot skillet. Now those onions have softened up a little bit, we're going to throw in our garlic. Going to saute that garlic a little bit. We're going to let it get good and fragrant. Man, it smells good already. All good recipes start with onions and garlic as far as I'm concerned. Next thing we want to add is our spices. I want to kind of toast our spices a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and add coriander and the paprika. Alright, the next thing we want to add is our brick of cream cheese, because we want to get that softened up, get it all melted. That's going to really help to make this chili good and creamy. Alright, now that we got that softened up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add these chilies. Just going to keep this stirring until we get all these ingredients all incorporated. Man guys, I'm telling you, this smells so good. Combining 2 of my favorite things, Mexican food and barbecue. Alright, now that we've got all the chilies and the spices and the cheese and onions and everything all incorporated together, we'll go ahead and add our beans. Got 3 cans of these cannellini beans. We're going to add the juice and the beans and everything. Going to give that a good stir, kind of start incorporating all those ingredients together. And we got that all mixed together. I'm going to go ahead and add our corn. Got 2 cups of yellow corn kernels. Next, we're going to go ahead and put our salt and pepper in there. We're going to add this quart of chicken stock. You can add more or less chicken stock, just depends on what consistency you want your chili. I want mine pretty thick. By the time we add the chicken and let this kind of reduce down and simmer some, this will be perfect. Now, I'm not going to add the chicken in just yet because we don't want it to get too overdone and just shred apart and fall apart into nothing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on this, and we're just going to let this sit and simmer for about 30 minutes. I'll bring you back in that time, and we'll probably go ahead and add the chicken then. Alright guys, it's been about 30 minutes since we put our chili together. Let's go ahead and take a lid off this and see how it's looking. Oh yeah, it's simmering good. All the ingredients are coming together. Get rid of this heat glove here. The ingredients are coming together, they're good. Alright, so now's about the time we want to add our chicken and our lime juice in. So like I said, I got 4 cups of that shredded smoked chicken here, and those 4 chicken breasts that I cooked is a lot more than 4 cups of chicken, but I like to go ahead and cook it, and then I can have it for leftovers or easy lunches next week. You're firing up the pit, you might as well go ahead and cook some extra chicken while you're at it. I'm go ahead and add this lime juice in here. That's just going to add a little bit of acidity, a little bit of freshness here at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and get that all stirred in and gonna let it simmer a little bit more. Probably gonna go about another 30 minutes or so. I think I'm gonna go ahead and simmer it without the lid on it so it can kind of reduce down a little bit more. Go ahead and get the lid closed. I'll check back with you in about 30 minutes. This chili has been on the pit for about an hour and a half. Let's check on it and see how it looks. Oh yeah. Sitting there simmering away, super thick. It's got a good smoky smell to it. I think it's about time to get this off of here, and we'll take it inside and we'll plate it up in a bowl. We'll give it a try. I'll see you back inside. Alright guys, we're inside. I got the chili off the smoker. I got all my toppings and stuff here. You know you gotta have some good toppings whenever you have chili. I'm excited to get into this thing. I'm ready to get some plated up and give it a try. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little story. I'm filming this video a couple days after Thanksgiving, and we all know what the day after Thanksgiving is. That's Black Friday. You know guys, that's the day that everybody goes out shopping. They try to get the best deals on whatever they can find. They're going to fight people for TVs. They're going to fight people for the latest and greatest toy. And it's just a mess. I try my best to not get out into that every year. But what I wanted to tell you about today is another Black Friday. You see, Jesus was crucified on a Friday. And the Bible tells us that when he died on the cross, darkness fell across the land. I'm sure that was a true Black Friday. All of Jesus' disciples and his family, they thought he was gone. They thought he was gone forever. Well, that leads me to this week's Bible verse. Because the opposite of darkness is light. And Jesus refers to himself many times in the Bible as the light. In the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verse 46, Jesus is speaking, and he says, I have come into the world as light, and whoever believes in me may not remain in darkness. You see, sin is synonymous with darkness, and through the blood of Jesus, our sins are forgiven. And where there was darkness, there is now light. It is my hope that the light of God's love shows through me as I talk to people and share with them about the gospel. And one day, if they are an unbeliever, they can see how God has worked through my life, and that they would trust Jesus to be the light of their lives as well. Alright guys, I didn't sit here and smell this chili about as long as I can take it. I'm ready to give it a try. So let's go ahead and get the lid off. Got a ladle here. Gonna ladle us up some in this bowl. Then we're gonna go ahead and top it with our favorite toppings. One of my favorites, and you gotta have it with chili, is some good cheese. Now I've got some Monterey Jack cheese here that I have shredded from a block of cheese. I also want to put a little dollop of sour cream here. You guys know I love my spice, so I'm going to throw a couple thinly sliced fresh jalapenos on here. Got to do a little squeeze of fresh lime juice. And then lastly, we're going to do probably the most controversial ingredient in the world, and that's some fresh cilantro. I love fresh cilantro. My wife hates it. She says it tastes like soap. I found out not too long ago there's actually a gene in some people when they eat fresh cilantro, it tastes like soap to them. So leave a comment down below. Let me know if you are team cilantro or team tastes like soap. I'm team cilantro, so I'm going to put some on my chili here. Got my spoon here. I'm ready to dig into it. I want to get a little bit of chili. Want to get a little bit of sour cream. Want to get a little bit of cheese. Get one of these jalapenos in there as well. Guys, I know this chili is going to be screaming hot. I'm probably going to burn my mouth. I'm ready to give it a try though. Guys, man, that is some great chili. Super creamy from that cream cheese. You definitely get some smoke. And then all the stuff that we add to it, the cilantro, the lime juice, the jalapenos, they all just add a lot of freshness. Guys, you've got to try this chili. It is so good. I promise you won't regret it. We make this all the time. My wife loves it. We're going to have some family over today. We're going to eat the rest of this soup later tonight, watch a little bit of football. And I hope you guys have enjoyed your time with me today. And if you like this video, how about go ahead and give me a thumbs up, maybe share it. And if you like the channel, what you've seen so far, how about go ahead and subscribe, and that really helps me out. Lets me know you guys are watching, you're looking forward to more content. And if you got any questions about this recipe or the verse of the day, or if you just like to know a little bit more about what it takes to become a Christian, feel free to hit me up. You can leave me a comment. You can reach me on Facebook or Instagram. I've got all that information in the description below. And until next time, guys, go spend some good quality time with friends and family over some good food. And remember, glorify God in everything you do. I'm going to go ahead and get me another bite of this chili before my family gets so good, guys. Y'all have a good one.